Ladies and gentlemen, times are changing, people are changing, and the possibility of you reaching success is also wavering. Why? And what determines success? This is what we are going to try to decode in this video. One of the most important factors that affect success is luck. The house you were born into, the parents that you have, the people around you, the environment that you have, the society that you belong to. It is all based on luck. But then rises a question. If everything is based on luck, then why do we see people like Warren Buffett who have raised above all the human beings and are now at the top of the world? They had started from very humble beginnings. They did not have luck from the start. Then how did they do it? It all boils down to one thing: execution. The most powerful tool that you can have to get to your success, or the only path that you need to take to get to your success, is execution. This is something new that I am starting. These videos will be like podcasts, and if you are really serious about your self-improvement journey, about your business journey, about any journey that you are on to improve your life, then this podcast is only for you. The rest of the people who just click on the podcast can leave. No, I'm not being rude. This podcast or these videos will be having just my voice, so you can just plug this into your earphones and just focus on your tasks, on your manual labor tasks, while listening to these videos on the background. If you have any notes to complete, if you have any work that doesn't require your mental presence, then you can just plug in this podcast at that time and just listen to it while you're doing your manual tasks. Back to the topic. Let's take an example of a classic engineer. The guy works in his office. The guy works in the office, gives his all, and then returns home. After the day's exhaustion, the guy has made it a habit to go onto his couch and slouch there, watch Netflix, eat some popcorn or just his dinner, watch some series and then sleep. This is his schedule. Now, one day, what happens is that when he is returning from home, he is bored. It's a 30-minute distance that he has to cover from his workplace to his home, and he has nothing to do. He is bored. Boredom is the ground or the born place for geniuses, and that's the place where he starts to think. He has nothing else to do, so he just starts to think. What he thinks is about his ideas that were lying dormant in his subconscious mind. He is an engineer. He was passionate about things before getting into a job which just sucked up all of his energy, so he could not focus on those ideas. Now he is bored and he has to think of something, and this boredom gave rise to some of his best ideas that were ever by him. So he thinks of these ideas and chooses to work on one. These ideas generate on themselves, and they fulfill one of the most innate qualities of human, that is curiosity. When he works on his ideas in his mind, he feels good because he's fulfilling one of the most natural desires of a human being, and that is curiosity. And when he feeds his curiosity, his ideas grow and expand. And as they expand, you see that this person is growing mentally. He goes home and decides that he is going to work on his ideas. He goes to his home, slouches on his sofa, eats some popcorn or dinner, and then goes back to sleep. Wait, what went wrong? The idea of having to work, the idea of gaining something from the idea that he had, the process that will take him just put his mind off. Why? Because he has now been programmed to only work on things that are necessary. What went wrong? Basically, execution. What happened was that he imagined and visualized the process of working on his idea, and what he got was tiredness. He did not want to waste his energy, or he did not want to invest his time on working on something that is full of uncertainties and he does not know would have a clear product or not. And that's why he put off the idea and just went back to sleep. People have a lot of ideas. They have dreams, they have aspirations, but they go day to day without executing these ideas. And that is the problem. See, you can think about a lot of ideas, you can have a lot of great thoughts, but if you're not implementing them, then there's basically no point. Let's take my own example. I started my self-improvement journey in July 2022 when I started reading books actively I started listening to podcasts actively. I started following self-help improvement YouTubers actively, and that's when I began to think big. I began to think out of the box, and that this is basically the time where my life, you can say, it changed. But how would you know? Is there any possibility of you knowing that I am a guy who has these good thoughts, these great ideas, these great beliefs? No. Unless and until I make an online presence, there's no way anyone would know that I existed. Well, if you're researching and just so research my profile or something, then you'll get it. But up until now, I did not have a social presence, and so it was completely impossible for you to know about my thoughts, about my beliefs, about everything that I know in here. And so this is the crucial part that we need to put a focus on, then that is execution. You may have a great amount of ideas, beliefs, you may have learnt a lot, you may think a lot, you may have very great ideas, but you wouldn't know if they are great or not until you execute them. And in this process, you tell people your ideas. This is execution. The telling is execution. We know Socrates, we know Plato. They had their ideas. They have one of the greatest ideas that mankind has to offer. And what if they just kept it in here? The problem is that these ideas would never have reached humanity and improve it. That is right. Your ideas do matter. So your ideas deserve to be put on a pen and a paper or be published digitally so people can read them and they use it to improve their lives. Your ideas matter. If we take the example of Socrates or Plato, they did the execution part which made their ideas travel the world and they still persist today. Socrates just spoke about his ideas. If he hadn't spoken, Plato wouldn't have been able to understand them and even write them down. This is the classic case of all the philosophers out there. If they wouldn't have spoken out their ideas, or if they wouldn't have written their ideas, there is no way that you could have understood them or even got to know about them. That's why it is necessary. You may have a lot of knowledge about books. You may have a lot of knowledge about stocks. You may have a lot of knowledge about building businesses. But people don't care because they see your physical appearance. They cannot look into your minds. And so they wouldn't see these things. They would only see the books that you have written, the businesses that you have built, and the stocks you own, nothing else. And so, my friends, it is really necessary that you focus on the execution part. Question is how we can escape distractions and complete the execution part right. It's easy. Just have a why. A why can be anything that just picks on your interest, that has become a burning desire in your life, and you cannot achieve it in at least coming 20 to 30 years. Why did I give this time period? Because if you can achieve it in 5 to 10 years, then you would have this unbiased thought in your mind that you can achieve it later on in life if it is just 5 to 10 years of time. Secondly, you need a workflow system to work for the why. If you are in school, you have only 6 or 4 to 5 hours execute the part, and from that also you need some time to do your academics. So whatever time you have, you need to have a full workflow system so that you can utilize the time which you had gotten and implement it in a proper way so that your workflow is efficient and time is not wasted, because anyways we don't have much time in our hands. Alright, the third thing that you need to do to get the execution process right is just get up off your butt and do it. I know it sounds rude, but it is the truth. If you just keep thinking about your ideas and you just get dopamine because you are thinking and visualizing about how you will be in the future, then you are just going to end up like nowhere, because nothing changed when you thought something. Things only change when you do something. Nothing changes if nothing changes. Simple as that. Now, let's move on to the next part of the video where we address the executional problems in individuals who have surged forward from the rest of the population. Let's say you are a person who tops his school or his university who is good at what he does. Often people who are good at what they do, they also face the problem of execution. They are not able to execute the things that they had on their to-do list. Why is that? These people had the goal, these people had the vision, these people were determined, but now they simply do not want to work. The goal still excites them, but they do not want to work towards it. What happened? There was a simple subconscious thought that disrupted the process of growth, the process of change. This thought was, I have enough time, or I can get it done. The first one, the thought of I have enough time, is completely flawed because you do not know how much time you have on this planet. It may happen that you die tomorrow by a car accident. You just find out that you have a very permanent disease in your body that will be slowly eating away at your body. You may die tomorrow or you may not. You do not know the exact time period of how much time you will be having on this planet. And so it is highly important that you get obsessed with completing your goals in an efficient way, not stressing over them, but actually completing the daily tasks that you have which are related to the goal, and actually keep moving forward towards your goals rather than just thinking that you have enough time. The second thought that prevails in our minds is that I know I can get it done. If you have been in this self-improvement journey, motivational journey, or whatever, if you consume videos on YouTube about these topics and you have achieved something, a small success in your life, like I gave the examples of academic success, the topper of your school, or maybe just being good around the people that you are, the best around the people that you have around you. But there is another flaw in this. Nothing changes if nothing changes. If you think that I will get it done because I know I can, I know if I just follow these methods, I can get it done, I know because I am confident, then my friend, you are utterly wrong. The thing is, if you believe so completely in this idea that you can get it done, then you start believing that it is your destiny to become what you have dreamt of. And flaw in it is, if you do not learn, if you have this thought subconsciously, then you are just going to stop the learning process because of your ego, which is telling you that you will get it done anyways, so you might as well go slow. You don't have enough time on this planet to get one of the wildest dreams, or your wildest dreams, your biggest dreams, to be executed. And so it is highly important that you start the execution process today and now. And if you decided to click this video and you're still watching until this part, then I think that you are already on your way. Just keep on the execution part. If you do not know what to do, research about it. Researching is also execution. Just do something that you know is a step towards your goal. A minute step, even 1 centimeter towards your goal, progress. So keep progressing. When you need time, you can watch your movies, watch television, you can go play around to get that efficiency still kicking in, because just working like a machine is inhumane and you cannot obviously do it. But get the execution part right, because that is the only way that you can reach your goals faster, and it provides a certain guarantee or a certain certainty that you will reach your goals. If you're still watching, I'm going to make a Discord server. The link will be in the description, where we self-improvement geeks or nerds or whatever who are just obsessed with books, with self-improvement, with business, with entrepreneurship, we can join this Discord server and debate things or talk about things, discuss things which we have doubts about or we want to talk about, or just chill when we want to. Make sure you join the Discord server, and I'll see you later.